Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a Lincoln Navigator. Before we get into this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Large Miller Ford Lincoln here in Draper, Utah for giving me some time with this Navigator. I'm going to include a link to the website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a twin-turbo 3.5-liter V6 that goes through a 10-speed automatic transmission. Fuel economy 16 around town and then 22 on the highway, with power outputs being 450 horsepower and then 510 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the softer lines that Lincoln does. I think it just leads to a really cool design. And then popping down below, we've got the Navigator's signature headlight design. And then look at the grille here with the Lincoln logo front and center. Parking sensors there at the bottom. And putting it all together, when you see the front end of the Navigator, you can tell that it means business. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 285, 45, 22 in the front and over in the rear. And with the wheels, we've got the silver mixed with the metallic gray, and you can see the Lincoln logo there in the center. And then notice how the fender cut there is designed. And then you can see the Navigator badge here on the side, blacked out mirror cap, and then we got lots of chrome trim here on the side. And then here's your full side view with the Navigator. And then taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function, remote start, we got the opening for the hatch, and then the Lincoln logo there on the back. And then popping into the rear, I love the coloration here, I think it looks cool, but you got a bit of storage underneath there, got a 12 volt there on the side, and then you have all these controls for the seats. So the second row you can just lower them down, the third row you can raise and lower them, and with the third row lowered down, you do have quite a bit more storage, but they also make a longer version of the Navigator if you need more storage behind the third row. But anyways, when you're all done, just press this button and that will lower the hatch right back down. And then here is the taillight design. Ooh, look at that cool effect there. Anyways, parking sensors down below. And putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the looks here of the Navigator. Now taking a look at the door panel, I love the two-tone design here with the coloration. Look at the wood trim recessed there. Got the black trim here and then more storage down below. And it's actually soft touch here on the bottom portion of the door panel. And then look at these seats perforated all down the center portion, really nice trim on the sides. And then legroom back here is really good. We also have a little storage pocket. I've got stitching on the grab handle. We got our own climate zone back here. We also have a bunch of charging ports. And this one has captain chairs, by the way, for those of you that are wondering. And yeah, look at the speakers for the sound system. It's so beautiful to see. And then headroom, it's good. Now, just like most full-size SUVs, you can very easily fit adults in the third row. So you can see legroom's good. Headroom's also good. And then notice for the seats I can recline it if I want, which is kind of nice. Got a USB here in the back. And then as for the seats themselves, they don't look quite as nice as the second row seats, but the coloration matches and everything. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see here, again with the two-tone design and then soft touch even at the lower sections, which is nice. All of our window controls here, we've got our mirror adjustments, door lock and unlock kind of in a random place. And then we've got a bunch of seat adjustments here. We also have massage seat function, which is really cool. Memory seat function all built in there. And then blind spot and ring with the mirrors. And then here's a look at the front seat again, perforated down the center. You can see all the different adjustments. It's crazy, like even these little things, you can adjust them. Light controls right here with their pedal adjustment, and then you can see again with the two-tone design. And then it's all soft touch across the dash. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch all around. You got paddle shifters there on the back for the 10-speed. Bunch of practical controls on the front, including stuff like your adaptive cruise control, voice command, phone controls. I like this little wood trim piece there, kind of random. And then you got your regular stalks on the back. Now I've got the Navigator's big digital gauge cluster here in the center, which you can use to see a bunch of different bits of information here on the vehicle. The fun part is the drive modes. So you can see pretty normal name for some of the drive modes, right? I mean, that all kind of makes sense. But the best, of course, is Excite instead of Sport. So there you go. Now, the little tag's kind of blocking the camera system, but we do have a 360 camera system. That's just kind of like your bird's eye view. A big screen, so, you know, easy to see everything. Resolution's really good with the camera system. It's great to have it in such a big vehicle, and you can press the camera button down below to kind of pull up the viewpoint as well. As for the rest of the infotainment system, I like the little star twinkle when you press the different tabs. You can see it does take a second for some of the pages to load up, but overall easy enough to use. And then that's just an auxiliary tab there on the side, just like what you see in the Fords. Got a trailer backup, trailer brake controls as well, and then a transmission select is a bunch of little tabs. And then we've got all of our controls here for the radio, the climate system, as well as the heated and ventilated seats. And I love this wood trim. It's very premium looking. It's basically just storage, also wireless phone charging pad as well. Parking assist, and you can see auto stops or auto hold, your parking brake, and then got the regular center console. Nice armrest design here, I think. And then you can see with the dash, again, also recessed wood trim there. I think more manufacturers should do that. I think it looks really sharp. And then big glove box, that's for sure. And we do have a panoramic center fin. I like how the headliner matches the seats. Now taking a look at the window sticker here, you guys can see this is a Reserve 2024. This has the luxury package, for those of you that are wondering. Pretty common to see on the Navigators. Anyways, after all options, $106,380 is the total MSRP on this Navigator. Let's see how it drives. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's visibility of the hood, and hoping to see the heads-up display now. Both the mirrors should do a blind spot monitoring throughout the rest of the rear. And I always forget buttons. Let us navigate in the Navigator. Really excited to do this review, and I guess I'll give you guys a quick little update about the Lincoln World here in Utah. So you guys probably noticed that in the past I filmed a lot of reviews at the Ford and Provo for Lincolns. They no longer have the Lincoln franchise. Everything's been consolidated to they're both Larry H. Miller stores, if you don't know. Everything's been consolidated to the Draper store here for the Lincoln brand. So if you live in Utah and you're looking for a Lincoln, then just pop into the Draper store. And in the future, all of my Lincoln reviews will be here at the Draper store. And I guess with that being said, I do plan on reviewing the other vehicles with Lincoln, Nautilus, Corsair, all that kind of stuff. But if you guys want to see any comparisons, let me know, and I can see what I can put together. Larry H. Miller also has a Mercedes store right next door to the Lincoln store. So I don't know, maybe you guys want to see like GLS versus Navigator. Not sure, but yeah, let me know if you want to see any sort of comparisons with Lincoln against other cars, or maybe like Expedition versus Navigator, so you can see the difference between Ford's full-size SUV and Lincoln's full-size SUV. Anyways, enough of me talking about random stuff. Let's talk about how this Navigator navigates. So first off, it's so comfortable. I just drove a Jeep Wagoneer the other day, so I know that doesn't technically compete against this. It's the Grand Wagoneer that competes against this. But let me tell you, this, you can just tell, it's more comfortable than the Jeep. I think with the Jeep, it's weird, they kind of almost like focused on something else other than comfort with it. I was gonna say sportiness, but not really. It doesn't really have a sporty feel to it. But it's so comfortable. The ride, like, man, Ford and Lincoln, they know how to do suspension and comfort, and the seats too, extremely comfortable. And part of that's the massive amount of adjustability. I think that definitely helps. I will say though, for me personally, it does kind of overwhelm me a little bit, because it's like I have so many different things to adjust. It's like getting it perfect. Like once you get it perfect, it's like the best seat ever. But getting it perfect, it does take some time. So yeah, take that into account. But yeah, I mean, so far it's such a good luxury car. It's comfortable, it's quiet, it's smooth, and it's not like, because the independent suspension, this is a big body on frame SUV, because of the independent suspension, it's really easy to drive this. It handles really well. So I think they've done a great job with the setup here. Continuing along in the Navigator, let's get our acceleration here. Smooth. I mean, this is, the Raptor engine, right? It's the high output EcoBoost, and it's got good power. I wouldn't necessarily call it like, it's quick, but I wouldn't say like high performance. And I guess that'll get me into summing things up and get me into a little bit of a potential thought for Lincoln, but I also don't know like if this makes sense at the same time. So Actually, I have a thought that makes a little, you guys understand when you understand. So I love, I think the exterior looks really nice. It looks classy. And the interior, I really like this interior. It's got good fit and finish. I like the material use with this. It's just a nice place to be. I know it has automatic windshield wipers, but I'm almost there, so I'm like, what's the point? Anyways, so yeah, nice interior, drives really well, great full-size luxury SUV. So here's my thought, is Cadillac has the Escalade V now. So I think that Lincoln needs to bring out something. So obviously there's the Raptor R engine, that engine. The problem with the Predator is it's hand-built, and so there's only so many that Ford can produce per year. And so if, you know, they're going to want to put that in vehicles, they know that it's going to, like, the vehicles are going to, like, instantly sell. And I'm not saying that a Navigator with that wouldn't instantly sell, because I think it would. But the Raptor R is like, yeah, I mean, that's, yeah, different market a little bit. Anyways, they've got the 5.0 and they have that supercharger kit. I think that if they threw the 5.0 in the Navigator and then did the supercharger and did that to compete against the Escalade V, they wouldn't have to worry about the whole hand-built engine situation where there's only so many they can produce. It would still have a crazy amount of power, and I think people would buy it. I think people would buy it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that thought, if Lincoln should make a supercharged Coyote V8 Navigator. But with that being said, let me know your thoughts on the Navigator in general.